In making decisions regarding politics, morality, and policy, the facts do not tell us what we should do, but in attempting to decide what we should do, it is essential to have a clear understanding of what the facts are, at least so far as we were able to have that understanding. Because everything we discuss in this class will be a matter of political controversy, it's especially important for us to try to identify and to use credible information. You should always use your own independent judgment in determining whether material is factual or not, but you should also allow experts to help you guide your judgment. Now, I want to note that the public is divided on matters regarding whether we should trust experts. In general, Republicans are substantially more skeptical of experts, or at least scientific experts, than are Democrats. For example, 65% of Democrats with high scientific knowledge, those that claim that they know a lot about science, believe that environmental scientists provide fair or accurate information most or all of the time, while only 20% of Republicans with high scientific knowledge agree with this. So, among those most knowledgeable among Democrats and Republicans, the Republicans are more skeptical. For a great report on public opinion and scientific knowledge, see the article Trust and Mistrust in Americans' Views of Scientific Experts. Some of the differences between Democrats and Republicans is based on what they think about the source before getting information from them. The New York Times, which many conservatives believe to be a highly biased source, has the article Biased News Media or Biased Readers, an experiment on trust. And what they find in this study is that those who are most biased politically, that is, those who are most on the extremes, either on the conservative end or the liberal end, tend to have the strongest views that the media itself is biased, while the most moderate political observers have much higher trust that the media is unbiased. And an interesting part of the studies that were done on this is that when you showed readers or showed viewers a news article and they did not know the source, they tended to be more trusting of it as compared to when they knew the source. For example, liberals who heard a Fox News story but did not know that it was from Fox tend to put more credibility to it than those Democratic viewers who knew in advance that it was a Fox source. Similarly, Republicans, if they knew an article was from the New York Times, tended to believe it was more biased than if they were presented that article without knowing that. So where you think the information is coming from affects your interpretation of it. Now, let me give you another note about evaluating your sources, and that has to do with what's called fake news. Now, simply calling something fake news does not make it fake. There are actually two different types of fake news that I want to distinguish here. There is real fake news, that is, news that literally is actually fake. Now, this is not news based on research, it's not based on investigation, it's news, in air quotes, that is made up to misinform, disinform, or make money through being a clickbait. The other kind is fake news. This kind is actually news. Say, for example, reporting in the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal that a politician simply does not like. So, whenever you hear a politician say something is fake news, you should carefully assess whether the politician just doesn't like that news or whether the story has indeed been fabricated. Our Lowinger Library provides some excellent guides for evaluating news sources. I'll link those to you in the course module. And you should definitely check out the Washington Post's Fact Checker's Guide for Detecting Fake News for evaluating news reports, especially those reports shared through social media. All throughout, you should pay special attention to the source. Let me suggest that articles that are peer-reviewed or that are published by U.S. governmental agencies will have a strong tradition of providing credible, nonpartisan, neutral data, in part because the reputation of researchers or governmental agencies relies on this. Finally, another good source for you is the pamphlet on fake news that is connected to this module. And yes, I have received explicit permission from the publisher to distribute this manuscript. So please I encourage you to read that. Remember, if we're going to make credible arguments regarding what policies we should adopt, we have to have the best possible information backing up our views.